These are the enemies of Scientology. The list starts with the AMA, with psychologists, with psychiatrists, with the FBI, with journalists.
Sam, what are you trying to get from here?
You don't know what flavor the scavengers in there?
No, I really don't. But even if I did, that's information from members of the religion, not from people of the media with a hostile intent.
There are policies written on how to deal with journalists.
The first objective in dealing with the media is for them to write no story at all. L Ron Hubbard says that no journalist will ever write an accurate story. Second objective, if it can't be stopped, shift it over to subjects that are sort of related. The good works that Scientology does, the drug rehabilitation, the education programs, etc., and focus on that. Talk about buildings, show them buildings.
100,000 square feet, enormous building, beautiful.
Talk about all the good works that we're doing in the community.
Did you also look into humanitarian programs? Because you didn't seem to know them. I was surprised.
If that doesn't work, start to investigate the reporter.
Okay, let's go this way. Just following us. Oh, we don't need an escort. We're okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I guess I'm happen to go the same way.
Okay, great. Is it right over there still? Excuse me. Can I help you? Can I help you? Why are you recording us? Why are you taking pictures of his license plate? Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go quickly.
See him?
Nope, he's in my car. He turned around on that.
We would then start tracking the reporter, writing letters to their boss and complain about this reporter is a bigot, this reporter is a drunk. An analysis is done of what their buttons are. The things that will have impact on them and cause them to shut up.
Oh, hi.
I have nothing to shake hands with you on.
Okay.
Yeah, I find it considerably obnoxious what you've done.
Every time we talk to a critic of Scientology, you within hours come up and say, that's an extortionist, that's a sexual pervert. It's as if you are terrified of anyone criticising your organisation. It's as if there's something that you've got to hide.
I am not terrified of anything, and you know what? I have absolutely nothing to hide whatsoever. Zero.
Really?
Dig,
okay.
and dig, and dig.
Okay, well give us some access.
It was a long day, and we were filmed continuously. The team needed a break.
Okay. We're just having an editorial conference in the loo because it's the only place where we can go to escape from them.
Are you guys doing okay in there?
Yeah, we're just
All three of you are in the bathroom together?
Yeah, well, the point is, Tommy, is that
okay?
it's fine.
Is this like BBC policy or something? You sit in this room across from these esteemed women, these dignified women.
You don't understand the nature of journalism with respect, Tom.
No.
Because
I don't understand the nature of you as a person.
Very good, thank you.
Is the thing that I'm at, because you have no objectivity whatsoever.
Thank you, I understand.
Zero. You're making this
yours.
film with no objectivity from a bigoted, slanted, preconceived, already determined idea of exactly how it's going to go. You're a closed-minded bigot. You are a bigot. You're the bigot.
People have emotional buttons. They have things that set them off.
But I'm
bigot. There you go.
That was the
religious bigot.
Call me a bigot annoys me because I'm not a bigot.
But if I keep cutting you off like this, I will actually drive you nuts.
It builds up like a dam. All these things you want to originate keep getting cut off, and it builds up like a dam, and finally it explodes.
No, hold a second, Tommy. No, stop there, Tommy.
No, I'm not stopping here. You listen to me for a second. You're accusing members of my religion of engaging in brainwashing.
No, Tommy, you stop!
Brainwashing is
No, listen to me! You were not there at the beginning of that interview! You were not there! You did not hear or record all of the interview! Do you understand?
Brainwashing is a crime against humanity.
Tommy had announced to David Miscavige specifically that he was the person that should be dealing with you because he could drive you psychotic.
I am definitely the person who drives him more psychotic than anyone. He goes nuts around me, and I'm going to keep it up.
I did a story on the opening of the Advanced Ideal Org in Australia. Outside, the black uniformed goons were getting a bit physical with my camera crew and I.
Don't touch the camera. You go back now. Go back. The police are here.
After about 3 or 4 hours, one of them leaned in when he knew we weren't filming, leaned in and whispered into my ear, "We know you grew up in an orphanage. We know they gave you drugs. What's wrong with you? Why don't you kill yourself?" This is what he whispered into my ear. Now, they've prepped someone, had the discussion. This is how we can try and unsettle Seymour. And I've got to say, and I hate to admit it, it did get to me a little bit. Just the awfulness of thinking that you can plan to try and throw someone off by throwing up childhood trauma at them and suggesting they commit suicide. That's what Scientology is. It's not some crazy sci-fi cult with a few celebrities. These are people who plan the destruction of critics. It doesn't stop for them. It never stops.
And if it's their children, then it's go after their children. If it's their job, it's go after their job. And then a program gets written to execute the steps that are necessary to carry those things out that have been conceived as, this is what will shut down this attacker.
Survey carefully to find out what he most values and protects. Immediately draw up a 3-pronged program to threaten it effectively.
They f***ed with my livelihood. You don't do that.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yes, you do, because that's what the policy says.
Indeed.
Cost them their job.
He's had that as long as I've known him.
That's the attack the attacker. Fair game.
That's
policy.
correct.
Sue and trick or destroy.
No, it's destroy the attacker. There's only one good defense, and that's to attack.
Fair game is the idea that anybody who is an enemy or a critic of Scientology may have anything done to them with the idea that the ends justifies the means. And there is a bunch of writings by L Ron Hubbard that describe how you get rid of an attacker. It basically says that you can do anything to a critic or an enemy of Scientology. And as an enemy, our practice, dictated by policy, is to destroy you. Videos of the intimidation tactics, the cameras in people's faces.
And nobody gives a about you. That's the truth.
It's the smear sites that are on the internet that are put up by the church.
It's actually illegal to picket residential premises.
You're committing suppressive acts.
I'm going to have him turn off the camera. You turn off the camera and you and I will talk.
You came to video people coming to a birthday party.
There are 3 men in a boat with a camera taking pictures of our backyard.
The Church of Scientology will hire private investigators at $10,000 a week. That's the f***ed up part of it.
Or maybe you don't smoke marijuana, or perhaps you do smoke marijuana.
It's sophomoric, vitriolic. It's so many words. I can't, like that a human being, a grown-up person claiming to be part of a church that has all the answers and are the epitome of morality.
Private investigators to my house, sitting outside in the most obvious cars. I mean, you're trying to put me under surveillance. Don't drive a Crown Victoria.
Mark, you don't understand.
I don't?
It says specifically in Hubbard policy that you are supposed to noisily investigate. You are supposed to be overt and loud, and that in and of itself will shudder a lot of people into silence. The product of the Office of Special Affairs Investigation Division is a dismissed attacker. The absolute hard-bound, ironclad rule dictated by L Ron Hubbard is that everybody who says something that is in any way viewed by the church as being derogatory or exposing something improperly or whatever, have crimes. I guarantee you, if you look, you will find them. So when they can't actually find anything, then they send private investigators out and say, he's got to be involved in child pornography. Because, you know, the back page of the Village Voice has these ads for pornography on them, so he's got to be involved in it, so you got to find it. So then they're out asking neighbors, we're investigating Tony Ortega for child pornography, with the hope that someone may spring up with something and here's a lead.
Right.
But that will go on because there's only one outcome that is acceptable. The investigation must disclose horrible, sordid crimes that you're engaged in. And if they have not disclosed horrible, sordid crimes, they haven't done their investigation right.
They've tried to destroy me, there's no question. They create anonymous websites about me and smear me with a lot of garbage.
You write about Scientology, they not only won't talk to you, but you start hearing from people you went to college with.
or people you went to high school with saying, Tony, there's this private investigator calling and asking about you.
Right.
At one point, somebody who's close to me and lived in New York let me know that a private investigator had showed up at their house. And 2 days later, that same private investigator was knocking on a door of somebody very close to me in California. So just crisscrossing the country, trying to track down everybody I'd ever worked with, I'd ever gone to school with, and never calling me directly, never calling me up and saying, we have an issue with the story, we have an issue with this fact. It's always this really strange, creepy reaction to try to undermine you, to try to frighten you. Maybe the most pernicious thing they did to me was they hired an out-of-work journalist to pretend that he was writing a story about my wife, to try to frighten her employers. And it was a very nervous time. Her employers stuck by her. I think they genuinely wanted to try to get her fired, get her in trouble, but it was just also to just make us both really frightened. And they've followed my mother. They've twice showed up at her house, and recently when I went to visit her, we got a creepy call about, why did you and your mother go here together? I mean, they just want to let you know that they're watching you and watching your family members. The feeling in the pit of your stomach knowing that Scientology's chief dirty tricks PI was just on my mother's front step. And believe me, it's effective, because then you have to ask yourself, okay, I'm a journalist, I can handle these kind of things, but do I want my family to go through that just because I'm pursuing a story? That's what they want you to make that calculation, to try to frighten you.
They believe that if they can get away with that sort of shit, that it puts you in the mindset of, oh my God, they'll do anything. They have people everywhere talking to everybody, keeping track of who all the bad people are, keeping track of plane reservations, keeping track of hotel reservations. I mean, this is OSA 101.
It's the way that any authoritarian movement behaves.
I have done stories about Saddam Hussein, Ceausescu, Putin, Trump. I've been to North Korea. I don't have nightmares about North Korea in the same way that I did about the Church of Scientology, because at times it felt like a battle for my own sanity. When we did the film in 2007, we had been spied upon from Florida to California. There's been a car chase in LA. There were creepy PIs in our hotel. You'd spied on us. I went a bit nuts. Hi, my name's John Sweeney from the BBC. Are you from the Church of Scientology? Why have you been following us? Can you tell me why you've been following us? But it starts eating into your head. There is no other organization, no other nasty government, no other set of totalitarian rulers or whatever have ever done this to me.